Hello, dear mommy. Stories are a great way to connect with your unborn baby. Each story here talks about a particular quality. These audio exercises produce good neurohormones in your body, which will reach your baby through your blood and helps in the overall development of your little one. Let's start. Mommy, this story is about love. You already love your little one, don't you? You haven't even seen her or him, yet you love the little one more than anything else in this world. Truly, love moves the world. And here is a story that illustrates this beautifully. Sit back, close your eyes, listen, and let your baby feel your love. There was once an incredibly rich, beautiful, and wise princess. Tired of false suitors who were merely interested in her money, she announced that she would only marry whoever managed to present her with the most valuable, tender, and sincerest gift of all. In no time at all, the palace was overflowing with flowers and gifts of every kind. There were letters describing undying love, and of course, as was to be expected, innumerous love-struck poems. Sifting through all these wonderful gifts, she found a pebble. A simple, dirty pebble. Intrigued, she demanded to see the one who had offered this gift. Despite her curiosity, she pretended to be highly offended by the gift when the young man was brought before her. He explained, "Dear princess, this pebble represents the most valuable thing one can give. It is my heart. It is also sincere because it is not yet yours, and it is as hard as a stone. Only when it fills with love will it soften and become sweet and tender." The young man turned on his heel and left quietly, leaving the princess surprised and captivated. She fell so in love with him that she took the little pebble with her wherever she went. For months afterwards, she regaled the young man with gifts and attention. But his heart remained as hard as the stone in her hand. In despair, the princess hurled it into a fire. The heat emanating from the fire made the sand around it crumble. And behold, from that rough stone, a beautiful golden figure emerged. In a flash of understanding, the princess realized that she herself would have to be like the fire. She would have to separate the useless from the truly important. During the following months, she set about changing the kingdom, devoting her life, her wisdom, and her riches to separating what was truly valuable from what was unimportant. She gave up the luxury, the jewels, the excess, and it meant that everyone in the kingdom now had food to eat and books to read. So many people came away from their interaction with the princess, enchanted by her character and her charisma. Her mere presence transmitted such a glow of warmth that her subjects started to call her the Princess of Fire. And as with the pebble, the first of her presence melted the hardness of the young man's heart. And just as he had promised, he became very tender and considerate, keeping the princess very happy till the end of her days. What could be the moral of this lovely story? It tells us that love is not about huge gestures, but about thoughtfulness, respect, and honesty. When the love you feel has depth, your loved ones will feel its warmth and blossom in its raw energy. Now close your eyes and let your little one feel all the love that's flowing from you. Wish that your little one will grow up to love and be loved. This pregnancy is a beautiful time to develop all the qualities inside you which you want to see in your baby. So here are a few things you could practice, mommy. 1. Accept the whole. 2. Support and nurture. 3. Learn to respect yourself and others. 4. Know when loving means letting go. Hello, dear mommy. Stories are a great way to connect with your unborn baby. Each story here talks about a particular quality. These audio exercises produce good neurohormones in your body, which will reach your baby through your blood and helps in the overall development of your little one. Let's start. Courage is the choice and willingness to face any situation that one is frightened of. And here is a story that illustrates this beautifully. Sit back, close your eyes, listen, and feel as if your baby is listening too. The Mokoko tribe lived on the wrong side of the island of two faces. The two sides, separated by a great cliff, were like night and day. The good side was watered by rivers and was filled with trees, flowers, birds, and easy and abundant food. While on the wrong side, there was hardly any water or plants. Wild beasts crowded together. The Mokoko had the misfortune of having always lived there, with no way to cross to the other side. Their lives were hard. They barely had enough food and drink for everyone, and they lived in permanent terror of the beasts who would harass them regularly and devour a member or two from the tribe. Legend had it that some of their ancestors had been able to cross with just the help of a small pole. But for many years, not a single tree had grown that would be strong enough to make such a pole. Naturally, only a few of the Mokokos believed this was possible. But they had become resigned to their difficult life, suffering, hunger, and hoping fervently to avoid becoming some peckish beast's dinner. But nature had engineered things in such a way that precisely along the edge of the cliff, separating the two sides of the island, a skinny but strong tree grew with which they could build two poles. There was no doubt among the tribe as to whom they would choose to use the poles: the great chief and the witch doctor. But when the two of them were given the opportunity to jump, they felt so afraid that they didn't dare do it. They thought that the pole would break, or it would not be long enough, or that something or other would go wrong. They put so much energy into these thoughts that the resulting fear caused them to cave in. And when they saw that this could result in them being teased and taunted, they decided to invent some stories and legends about unsuccessful jumps. And they spread so many of these lies and tales that there was no Mokoko who didn't know how reckless and foolish it would be to even think of attempting the jump. And there lay the poles, available to anyone wanting to use them, but abandoned by all, because taking up one of those poles had become the most unbecoming thing a Mokoko could do. It was a betrayal of the values of resistance, which so distinguished the tribe. But into that tribe were born Naru and Ariki, a pair of young hearts, truly wanting a different life, and encouraged by the strength of their love, one day decided to take up the poles. Nobody stopped them, but everyone did try to discourage them, trying to convincing them of the dangers of jumping, using 1,000 explanations. Wondered young Naru. And what if they say it's true? Replied the determined Ariki. Don't worry. Why do they talk so much about a leap they have never done? I too am a bit scared, but it doesn't look so difficult. But if it goes wrong, it would be a terrible end. Perhaps the jump will go badly, and perhaps not. But staying forever on this side of the island surely won't work out well either. Do you know of anyone whose death did not come from being either eaten by the wild beasts or from famine? That too is a terrible end, although it still seems far away to us. You are right, Ariki. And if we wait much longer, we won't have the strength to make the leap. Let's do it tomorrow. And the next day, as planned, Naru and Ariki jumped to the good side of the island. When taking up the poles, doing the run-up, while feeling their desire, the fear hardly allowed them to breathe. And while flying through the air, helpless and without support, they felt that something would definitely go wrong and that certain death awaited them. But when they landed on the other side of the island and happily hugged each other, they thought the jump really hadn't been so bad after all. And as they ran away to discover their new life, behind them they could hear like a whispering choir, "It was just luck. Well, maybe tomorrow. What a terrible jump, had it not been for the pole." Then it was that Naru and Ariki understood why such few people took the leap. Because on the bad side of the island, you only got to hear the resigned voices of people without dreams, of people filled with fear and despair, of people who didn't have the courage to take the first step. What could be the moral of this lovely story? It tells us that we should always try to improve, not give in to the kind of fear displayed by people who have never attempted what they really want to do in life. Now, close your eyes and wish that your little one develops the quality of courage and valor. This pregnancy is the best time to develop all the qualities inside you which you want to see in your baby. So, here are a few things which you can practice, mommy. 1. Admit you have fears. 2. Face your fears. 3. Think positively. 4. Reduce your stress. 'Hello, dear mommy. Stories are a great way to connect with your unborn baby. Each story here talks about a particular quality. These audio exercises produce good neurohormones in your body, which will reach your baby through your blood and helps in the overall development of your little one. Let's start. Respect means that you accept somebody for who they are, even when they are different from you or you don't agree with them. Respect in your relationships builds feelings of trust and well-being. Here is a very interesting story which demonstrates the quality of respect. Close your eyes, listen, and feel as if you're communicating the story to your little one. Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a blind man in a little cottage. Although he couldn't see, he always carried a lighted lamp whenever he went out at night. One night, as he was returning home after dinner, he came across a group of young travelers. They saw that he was blind, yet he carried a lighted lamp. They laughed uproariously and made fun of him. One of them sneered, "Hey mister, you are blind. You can't see anything. Why do you carry a lamp?" "Yes, unfortunately, I am blind. I can't see anything. But I carry a lighted lamp for people like you who can see. You may not see me coming and end up bumping into me. That is why I carry a lighted lamp." The group of travelers felt ashamed and apologized for their behavior. Did you like listening to the story, Mommy? It has a wonderful moral too. It tells you that we should not be quick to judge. Always be polite and learn to see things from the other's point of view. Now, close your eyes and wish that your little one becomes polite and respectful, never speaking without thinking first. This pregnancy is the best time to develop all the qualities inside you which you want to see in your baby. So, here are a few things which you can practice, Mommy. 1. Be polite. 2. Be helpful. 3. Don't make excuses. 4. Let go of anger.